Good afternoon. I am Pratik Selgar. I welcome all the participants and the dignitaries in this workshop, which is on the forensic science and laboratory working protocol. So basically, we all know that today we are in the technology era, and in this 21st century, technology has developed up to such an extent that we need to recognize these particular developments in connection with law. Rather, we should develop our law to govern all these particular technological developments as well. As because with the passage of the time and with the development in the technology and the science, and with the development in the society as well, the nature of the crime that has also been changed. So we need to have that particular aspect in the mind from the point of view of understanding. Overall, we can say that the legal area in this particular manner. So from that particular aspect, we have arranged this particular workshop on the forensic science today. And I'm very happy to collaborate with SIFS Forensic Science Institute Delhi. And they accepted our invitation and they collaborated with us to guide our students on this specific topic. And I welcome all the dignitaries from the SIFS Forensic Science Institute as well. And now I will take the opportunity to introduce the resource persons for this particular workshop today. And we are having among us Afrin Tarannum, Kritika Mishra, and Arti Varshne. These three resource persons as the experts who are working in SIFS. All of them are the senior scientific officers who are working in the SIFS forensic science, and they are having long experience in working in this particular area. Afrin Tarannum is the industrious professional actively heading Education Department of Sherlock Holmes Institute of Forensic Science, India, and taking education sector in the new direction. So currently she is holding the post of senior scientific officer in SIFS with more than 5 years of experience, and she has also worked on different cases of question document examination. She has also taken differentiation in the field of forensic science on both international and national level, and she qualified the forensic aptitude and caliber test in question documentation examination. So academics has always been her strongest pursuit, and that's why she is here to interact with us. And having a knack for the education, she has published several research papers in different international national journals. Along with, she attended the various conferences, seminars, trainings, and workshops. Also, she has completed her graduation in biotechnology from Sharda Group of Institution and master's degree in forensic science from SHIATS Allahabad. So I think she is the, we can say that the person with the long experience, and with always she is very having a fond connection with the academics as well, and that's why she is here to interact with the students today. Our second resource person is Kritika Mishra, which she is also currently working on the position of senior scientific officer in SIFS, and she has taken the numerous sessions and conducted different practical on different topics regarding the forensic science. And we can say that she is the certified graphologist from the World School of Handwriting, Mumbai, and trained many students under her guidance. She has handled different cases of question document and fingerprint examination in the past, and currently she is leading the training internship department in SIFS, and she is an active special assistance team member of Canon International Emergency Service, and she is certified National Center for Handwriting Studies and has taken the sessions on it too. So she is also, we can say that, one of the great expert we have got today for this particular session. So I would like to welcome Kritika Mishra ma'am and Afrin Tarannum ma'am for this particular session.
Thank you.
And
Thank
one
you
more
so
resource
much.
person we have today, Aarti Varshne. She is currently working as the scientific officer at SIFS, and with her excellent academic record, she has proved to be the value team member of the education and training department of SIFS, and she has diverse experience of more than 4 years in content writing, editing, then in biology and forensic science as well. So she had excelled her academic and has been the part of the various projects, including one funded project by MHRD Government of India. She has gained the knowledge by involving herself in the different internships at Central Forensic Laboratory, CBI Delhi, Delhi Police Mobile Crime Investigation and State Forensic Science Laboratory. And she has also undertaken enormous project work and completed it with outstanding dedication. So I welcome Aarti ma'am also for today's session. And I hope this session is going to be very fantastic, because they are not just delivering the session, but they will be sharing their experiences, so that will be very helpful for our students to understand how the forensic science department it works, how the cases are handled, and how they arrive at the specific conclusion, and how that is helping the judiciary to entertain that particular criminal case. So I would now like to request Kritika Mishra ma'am to start with the session. Over to you, Kritika.
Thank you so much, Prateek sir, for your kind consideration and your warm welcome. Thank you so much for introducing us with your students, and it gave me immense happiness that I got this opportunity to talk with you all on such an important field, and of course my favorite forensic science field, because we are going to discuss on that. So with this, let me, can I just get a quick yes that my voice is very clearly audible and
Yes,
my video is visible as well?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I'm taking one moment to just share my screen. Just give me 1 second. Okay, my another yes, please, for my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and welcome you all to the workshop on forensic science protocol, where we are going to discuss about the different aspects of forensic science, the different scientific consideration, and of course the way of the ethical and the challenging factors we gone through whenever we deal with certain cases which is related to forensic science field. So again, with this, I am again thankful to all the organizers, Prateek sir, and the entire college for giving us the opportunity, choosing SIFS India as one of your prime person to talk on for your of course for the topic, which is currently one of the needed topic in consideration, because we all know crime is everywhere. So yes. Okay, so because I know I just want two things very important whenever we talk in a virtual mode, because see, we have certain limitation when it comes to virtual medium. The limitations like we cannot directly call you, we cannot give a eye contact with you, and of course we hardly know who is listening and who is not. So yes, with that, I want the session to be more interactive, and if you keep on interacting with us, keep on asking, we will ask you question, it will be more entertaining for the entire day that we are going to discuss. Of course, this 1 hour is entirely our 1 hour to enhance the knowledge and discuss about the different aspect. So thank you once again. Now let me just start my presentation, and with this, I think we are ready to discuss. And Afreen ma'am, I think we are ready to start our part.
Yes, definitely, Kritika. We are ready to go ahead with the things. And once again, I would like to thank Prateek sir and like everybody who has joined this session for this virtual interaction. I believe that this is gonna be very interesting, because this is something which is giving you an exposure to the, I would say, to the practical field. So let's start with first the discussion and first with introductory part of the workshop. Then we'll definitely come to a discussion part where we'll discuss with all the aspects of the forensic science and other things. So yes, Kritika, you can start with the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Now, just giving a quick glimpse of what we are going to do in this 1 hour. We first start with the quick introduction, a brief introduction about forensic science, its different branches, and then we'll be moving forward with the working protocol or the working protocol of SIFS India, the way we work, the n number of cases we receive, the versatility in the cases, as well as how we proceed with certain cases, considering the legal concept as well. And last, we have a quick 10 or 15 minutes for the panel discussion. In that, you are free to ask any of your questions and your queries, and we would love to help you during that part. So, a quick session tips. I request everyone that your mobile phone should be in a silent mode so that the session won't disturb in any way. Your mic should be off unless and until you can have any question. You can raise your hand, you can ask your question, and please make this session interactive. So the session is open for all valuable interactions. So from this, I'll be starting with my very important discussion. So as we all know that you all belong to a legal background. So, and of course, you had been dealing with, you had been learning forensic science as well. Can I just have a quick, anyone by voluntarily themselves, they can ask, they can tell me, what is forensic science for you? Anyone? See, let's not make this session a lecture. Let's just make this session a discussion and an interaction, because the title is workshop. So we have to make it like that. So what is forensic science for you? Anyone? It will be fine if you answer in your way. It's completely fine. I'm not going to ask you a proper definition with a bookish language. You can ask, you can tell me what is your perspective of forensic science.
Yes, anyone from students would like to answer?
Scientific way to find evidence.
Scientific way to find evidence. Okay, very nice. Anyone else? Just one more answer, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Critical element of the forensic science, criminal justice system.
Criminal justice system. Okay, and
It's a branch of science. They are deals with the investigations of criminal cases, and they are supposed to are a judiciary or investigation.
Okay. Okay, very nice. So I think we already have an idea what is forensic science. So as I want to tell you a very important thing, forensic science. Yeah. So forensic science is a word which derives from forensis, which means belonging to forum. See, forensic science, sometimes we in numerous book and numerous way, we also call it criminalistic study. It actually applies the knowledge of science to the definition to the enforcement of law, which means it is the application of science which deals with the study of a different evidentiary value and determine in the court of law. This is forensic science. See, whenever we discuss a forensic science, we had a contradictory word and a connection word, which is called criminalistic. And everyone was like, forensic science and criminalistic go one on one. Of course. So when it's forensic science, and when it comes to criminalistic, it actually defines the branch of science that involved collection, analysis, interpretation of a physical evidence, which is produced by any criminal activity or any criminal offense. This, yes. Yeah, this okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me over by the end of my topic. Okay, the field of this field of study involves several scientific disciplines. So the different scientific methodology which we study, they are all incorporated in this forensic science, because whenever a word forensic came in like whenever a forensic word came in any scientific method, it's all means that we are using that particular scientific technique, or we are using that particular scientific methodology to determine in the court of law for proving someone are innocent or a guilty. That is what our main agenda is. You all know in the current scenario, forensic science is very important because we have no limit of crime. Crime is, see, everything is every second activity. The more the forensic science is developing, the more scientific methodologies, the research is happening, the more applications are there for forensic science, the more crimes are increasing. We in every day, whenever we open a news, whenever we open a newspaper, whenever we read any article, everywhere there is a crime, and we all have one thing in our hand, which is how to determine that crime, how to analyze that crime, how to prove someone the culprit or the victim, how to understand the body of a crime. These all answers are only when it comes to have a complete experience and working under this forensic science field. Yes, it is an interdisciplinary approach, and it is one of the holistic approach where we determine these concepts for solving a particular evidence, a particular crime on the basis of the scientific methodology. That is why I'm keep on saying, you cannot prove anything in forensic science just by your usual experience and your words. There should be scientific and a practical connection, because if the scientific connection is not there, if it is not properly authenticate and a validate study, you cannot prove it in a court of law. That is why forensic science itself word applies the knowledge of science to the definition and enforcement of law. When it comes to forensic science, as I'm keep on saying, forensic science incorporate all other scientific study, which means the different divisions of science is helpful when it comes to detail about the forensic science. So yes, we have different divisions. The first one is question document. Question document division is where we receive evidence as a document. Document could be a will paper, it could be a signature forgery, it could be anything which is related, which is written, which is drawn, anything which is related to a document. See, whenever we say what is a document is something which gives you any certain information. It doesn't matter that it is written, it is printed, it is drawn, but it should give you certain information. And when on that particular document a question raised, then that particular document is now called as question document, which means that the question is raised on the authenticity. A very quick cases we receive, like a check. If we receive a check, the signature, it belongs to that person or not. We have a quick cases of bill, certain amount has been changed, any addition had been done. We receive cases of a currency, whether the currency, there is a counterfeit currency, there is original currency, anything. So the cases which we receive in this manner, these are the question document. Then we have a very quick cases received for fingerprint. As I want to tell you, fingerprint is one of the commonly encountered evidence when it comes to crime scene. When we go to crime scene, fingerprint is something which is definitely we will receive. And fingerprint is very much helpful because it is one of the strongest evidence to identify and to individualize identity of a person, because fingerprint is unique to a person, and even in case of twins, we don't have a same fingerprint. So we receive many cases of fingerprint because whenever a criminal go to any crime scene, he will touch certain things. So under a very specific law of forensic science, which is called as law of exchange, which was given by Edmund Locard, who defined that whenever we comes in contact with anything, we leave our traces and we receive something from that. So whenever we go and touch any surface, whether it is a wall, whether it is a glass, whether it is any object, we dropping our fingerprints. And this fingerprint study plays a very significant role, because by developing and collecting that evidence from crime scene, we will be able to determine who's the criminal or who's the culprit of that crime. Okay, then we have a field of cyber forensic, very needed field. Cyber forensic is very important because very quickly, as in this introductory part, Pratik sir mentioned that the crime is now not limited to a manual manner, but it is more of now a technical way. Because in the era of COVID, we all know that we had gone through numerous fraud related to cyber attacks, like the hacking, the data recovery cases, and the cases where there is a forgery occurred when by any social media occurrence. So there are certain cases which we receive in cyber forensics, and in cyber forensics we deal with digital forensics. We also deal with the cases related to the audio analysis, video analysis, like whether that person whether the person in the video is actually the same person, or there is any morphing is done, any forgery is done. All these cases received, they will be dealing under cyber forensics. Then we have a forensic ballistic division. See, forensic ballistic division is a part of a division where we study and deal about the firearms and its ammunition. Like in a crime scene, if we receive a bullet, it's a very strong evidence, because that bullet, when it comes to lab, we have a proper microscopic examination, and with that bullet, one can able to determine on that on which particular firearm is used, and even to individualize that case. Then again, firearms, the different firearms we receive, the different bullet cartridge case we receive, and the different ammunition of firearm, these are all detailed under forensic ballistic division. Then the next category is where we discuss about a forensic biology. Forensic biology, you all know, forensic biology is where all the body fluids, all the botanical evidences we deal with, like the study of DNA, all the serological concepts, blood, semen, saliva, all these particular body fluids. Whenever we receive a cases of sexual assault, the cases of any heinous crime, violent crime, we have a lot of blood sample received in different manner. It should be in a wet blood or the dried blood. All these evidences we receive, we determine in the forensic biology division. But proper identification is helpful to determine the culprit or the body of crime. Then we have a forensic toxicology division. See, forensic toxicology division in different lab. These divisions are certainly deal with the overdose of drug or any poison consumption. So if any case, any fatality case you received where the death is due to the intoxication or overconsumption of any drug or any poison, then the cases dealing under those are the one which we are considered as a forensic toxicology division. Then we have a forensic chemistry division. See, certainly we quickly confuse between forensic chemistry and toxicology. So in forensic chemistry division, in toxicology division, we are more focused about the overdose of drugs as well as the poison consumption. When it comes to forensic chemistry, in forensic chemistry, we are more about drug testing in the cases where illegal trafficking is there, the explosion analysis, like if there is an explosion, what is the cause of the fire? Kerosene, petrol, what particular chemical is used, illicit liquor cases or the trap cases, any food adulteration, any type of adulteration. Then these cases when we receive, they go under the forensic chemistry division. Then odontology division, one of the very emerging and a very now it's a very trending field in forensic science, because the cases of natural disaster or the cases of where the teeth as an evidence, a very strong evidence to individualize an identity of a person. So these cases forensic odontology deals. Odontology is where the study of teeth focus. Then we have an anthropology division. See, forensic anthropology division is a division where we study the entire concept of a human existence, because anthropology is actually the study of humans, entire study, social manner, linguistic manner, physical manner, all this. So when it comes to forensic anthropology, we are more focused about physical anthropology, biological anthropology, because we discuss more major about the cases like a mass disaster cases, natural calamities, where the bones we receive. So we study under osteology, which is a study of bone. So on the basis of bone, we go for the individualization of a person. Suppose in any mass disaster case, we receive different bones. So we can determine age, sex, and the race of a person on the basis of the bones. So these are the study which undergoes in forensics anthropology. Then we have entomology. Entomology field, forensics entomology, it deals with the study of insects. So in numerous cases, whenever in a body, like in an unnatural death, a body when the body is not properly preserved, in that cases we receive certain insects on a body. Okay, now that insect study is helpful to determine the time since death of a person, as well as the is the death is like we give up appropriate estimation of when the death occur on the basis of the life cycle study of an insect. Then we have a medicine division, all the medical legal cases which is related to postmortem, like postmortem analysis, injury analysis, cause or manner of death, time since death. For all the study, for forensic medicine is very important, because once death occur and naturally we receive for the body for the postmortem, and by the proper postmortem analysis we came to the part where we discuss about what is the cause of death, and the death is because of whether the death is homicidal, suicide, murder, or it's accidental. All these 4 divisions we discuss. Then criminalistic division. See, criminalistic division is much more a thin line variation when it comes to forensic science. In the criminalistic division, we are much more focused about the causation of crime, that why that person is involved in that crime, why, I mean, the society pressures and everything. So when we deal about the different theory of causation of crime, we are more concerned about the criminalistic factors. Then forensic psychology, again, a very emerging and a very embryonic field, because now in the different cases, we are using forensic psychology concepts for the analysis of why that crime occur, by determining the behavior of our criminals and the way they are dealing with for a certain crime, that why a person is involved in any heinous crime, why the crime is very violent, why the person is doing a sexual assault, rape, anything. So to understand the behavior and a personality of a criminal, we go for forensic psychology division. And we also have a forensic engineering division. In forensic engineering division, we deals with the forensic sciences, actually the cases we receive of structure failure analysis, building collapse, accidental reconstruction, catastrophic physical parameters, and all these things we discuss when it comes to forensic engineering. Like if naturally a building collapse, what is the reason? Is there any adulteration done on the products used for that formation of the building? So all that is in forensic engineering. Then there are more other fields as well. Then I quickly want to tell you about the forensic reporting process. So whenever we receive a case, we have to go through a certain procedure for it, and that procedure determined first. Whenever we receive a case, we have to prepare a proper detailing about it, and how that case is going to be examined, what is the proper preparation, what instrument is used, everything. So initially we prepare how to deal with that claim. Whenever we receive a case, we always require to research require all the past record as well as everything related to that crime. So it is not about that you receive a case and you quickly go for the analysis. No, you first have to do your research work on determining all the documentation, all the related aspect of it, and then moving towards the process. Then we go for the protection. Protection is like to saving that part, to saving that particular area, and that should be protect from other confidential details and all that. This is very important. Then we go for imaging. Imaging is where we detailed and discuss about the entire we create a proper observation, a proper outline of that case. Then we go for expert analysis. So when entirely the preliminary examination is done, we go for expert analysis. Expert analysis is what the point of view of an expert, that in what way that crime is going to be analyzed, what are the instrument used, what are the examination procedures should be, what are the principle of forensic science should be incorporated. Then we go for examination. Examination is where that scientific methodology is opted to determine that particular area of crime. Suppose if we receive a fingerprint, then whether the pattern analysis should be done, the minutiae analysis should be done. So it's a very long process, and of course we have a very limited time, so I'll be very quick towards my explanations. Then we have a last, that is documentation. Whatever we have done, including the examination, analysis, research, and everything, it should be properly, precisely detailed, and that documentation and detailing will be called as a report writing. Whatever we have done, we have to create a proper report of it, and that report is going to be submitted in the court of law, and the expert involved will be considered as an expert witness, because they have to go to that for that case, determine that why this case require a particular scientific method and what are the certain instruments we used and other things. So that is what the documentation is. Then I want to tell you a very quick thing, a very interesting part of forensic, that is what is the process of identification. So for the process of identification, we have to understand the A, B, C, D, E of identification. What is A, B, C, D, E of identification? A is analysis. So basically, when we receive a case, let's just give a quick evidence, fingerprint. Okay, now I am a very much fingerprint person because that is what my specialized field is. So I'm keep on giving example. Okay, not only this, because fingerprint is one of the very commonly encountered type of case. That is also the one reason. So we receive a fingerprint, we analyze it, we analyze whether we have to go for the pattern analysis. First question is whether this particular sample is ready for the analysis, whether this is like the sample size and everything, we have to think about it. And then we go for analysis. When analysis be done, we do the comparison. Comparison always done that whatever the question sample we receive, we require a known sample also to compare both of them and then give a report. So comparison and analysis, in between that, one thing should not follow, that is you are not supposed to be biased toward your study. You are not going to say, okay, I know this is that. No, you have to prove it with the particular scientific examination, that why you are saying this. Also, it is the ethic of a forensics expert that you are not biased. Whatever your analysis is, you should stick to that part. You are not biased towards your study. Second is, when we compare, then after comparison, we evaluate whether it belongs to same person or not, to come the observation and result. When comparison and evaluate goes, we never have to deviate from the path. And what is the main path of it? Why we not deviate? We need not to deviate, that we have to prove someone on the basis of that evidence. So two things which are never ever going to be part of your identification, that is being biased and deviate. Once you deviate from your path, you will lose the connection. You will lose the connection of that investigation area. So it is very important to, whenever you go to understand the process of identification, you should follow the A, B, C, D, E of it, because you all are law professionals and we are the expert, and the law professional and the expert, they have to shake their hand when it comes to solve any crime, because we are helpful in determining the proper analysis of why that case occur, what is the reason. I will give you a scientific representation and I will tell you the causation of that crime. But when it comes to prove in the court of law, the certain section, the certain law is involved, which is in your hand. So it's a very, very amazing combination when a forensic scientist and a forensic law professional incorporate. Not only this, a forensic scientist should know certain parameters of a law factor as well, because then only they will be very lawfully proven in the court of law. So that is what my part is, which is assigned to me. And now we are moving towards the topic where we discuss the divisions in SIFS India. We basically deals with what are the certain instruments and laboratory professional we use. And for that, I'll be handing over this session to Afreen ma'am. And thank you so much. And after ma'am's session, we'll have a panel discussion. So Afreen ma'am, the session is over to you.
Thank you so much, Kritika. And I believe, giving the introduction about the forensic science, you have made the clear the concept of forensic science, I would say, and it was very informative. Definitely, I would love to know it from the student that I hope the things that we have discussed till now are very much clear to all of you, because let's have an interaction now, because now we are going to discuss about the protocols of the SIFS. But before that, I would like to know that, being a law student, what is your perspective regarding the aspects of the forensic science? So anybody who would like to share his or her view upon this, I would love to hear that. Anyone, because I need the answers from all of you. And yes, if you're not able to unmute yourself, you can write in the chat box that, okay, what is your perspective? Because all of you are, I believe, law students. So a quick answers from all of you. Abhishek, Ankit, Anjali. See, let's make it interactive. Then only we'll be more than happy to learn about a laboratory working procedure, and we'll have an idea about that. Okay, what the things to go ahead for. Okay, so first question, that all of you are from law background and you have learned the aspects of the law very well. But yes, definitely when you talk about the forensic science, when you talk about the reporting protocols of the forensic science, what is your concept regarding that? What do you know about that? Anybody would like to add anything, or should I proceed with the working protocol of SIFS India? Okay, so there's no question, no thoughts, nothing like that in your mind? No issues. Let's have the first of all, let's learn about the working procedure. First of all, learn about the working environment of a laboratory, of forensic science laboratory, I would say. And then definitely after that, we can have a discussion on this. So if I say the working procedure for the SIFS India, what we do here, so I would like to tell you that we have two different divisions here. That is, one is the investigation department and one is the education and training. So when we talk about the investigation department here, I would like to tell you all that we have question document division, we have cyber division, we have CSI division, we have fire and investigation divisions, where we are receiving n number of cases on a daily basis. Okay, so there are numerous cases that we are dealing upon this, and all the divisions are handling the things at their level best. Okay, so if I talk about, see, we know that, okay, we being a law student, you'll be practicing in future as a lawyer, definitely. And when you come to the stage of that lawyer stage, I would say that you will be always coming across reports of the forensic science laboratory. Okay, so you'll be always coming across report from the private laboratories, government laboratories, all the things. So what is the challenge? What is the thing that you feel like, okay, when you have the report, you need to understand that what are the procedures, what are the protocols that can help you to deal with your case that you are having it in the court, I would say. So in that situation, it's good that you are learning the basic concept of forensic science as at your learning stage only, because this is going to be very helpful when you are at the lawyer stage, when you are actually dealing the case in the court. So if I talk about the department of the investigation that we have here at SIFS India, I would like to tell you that we receive cases. We receive cases through different modes. We are appointed by court also. Court is calling us to assign any case. We are approached by different individual client also, that they are visiting us, they are just sharing their cases, they are just giving the details of the cases, and we asking for the examination procedure. So we are approached by different organizations, I would say, that who are contacting us, collaborating with us, and they are asking for the departmental investigation also, departmental examination also. Then they are asking for the court procedure examination also. There are different aspects by which we are receiving the cases. Okay, so whenever we receive a case, see, it's very important for us to understand that whenever we are receiving a case, then what is the first step that we need to do? So whenever we are receiving a case, we have a case receiving procedure where we ask the client to fill the case receiving form, and then when they are asked that, okay, they have to fill the form, that form particularly contains certain details. That forms actually contain the details about the client. That form actually contains the detail about the case that they are handing over to SIFS India with their consent. Because see, whenever you are dealing with the legal aspect of the case, you always require a consent. So yes, there is a consent of the client that they are handing over the case to the particular organization, and they want it to be examined to the reporting level, and then they have mention their query, what they want to be examined. So if I take an example, that we have the division of the question document here, we have the division of the fingerprint, we have the division of the cyber. Whenever, let's take an example of the question document division. Okay, whenever a question document division receives a case that asks them to, you can say that, to verify the signature that it is of one author or two author, they will be asking this to client that they have to mention this in their form, that client, that case receiving form, they have to mention there that what they want to be examined. Okay, so once we have this protocol, once we got this to understand that, okay, what is they are actually looking for, or if the court is like appointing us to be examination part on the, then definitely in that situation, what happens here, that we are specified that what we have to examine. Now, I would say that being a primary role of the examination procedure, I would say that it's like whenever we are having a case with us, see, we have received the case now. Now our primary role is to go through all the details. As Kritika ma'am has already discussed in the first part, that whenever we receive a case, we have to do the preparation. So in that situation, whenever we are doing a preparation, so I would like to tell you that we have to first of all go through all the details that we have, whatever the sample we have received, whatever the question we have received. So all things need to be gone thoroughly. Okay, so whenever there is a case, either of the document, signature, handwriting, fingerprints is there, or any fire investigation case is there, any you can say that digital evidence case is there, we are supposed to go through in detail that what sample we have received, what we are asked to do, and is it possible or not. After going through all these things, further we move to a step of the, you can say, the examination procedure. Okay, so once we are done with the case receiving, we have received the case from the client, we have received the case from the court. So we have completed the documentation procedure of case receiving. Once we have received that, once we have done that, we assign the particular case to the scientific officer of the level of the particular division, I would say. So yes, when we have assigned that particular case to the, you can say that to officer, they are supposed to go for the examination procedure. When they are going for the examination procedure, they have to maintain the chain of custody, I would say, that who have handed over them, from whom they have received the case, who is actually working on the case. So all these things need to be maintained at the same time. So at that level, they go for the examination procedure. Now, if I say the examination procedure, then definitely it varies from all the case to case and definitely division to division. So if we have a signature, then we have to go for the, you can say that check out the class and individual characteristics of the particular handwriting or signature, whatever we receive. So once we are done with the examination procedure, once we have you can say that jot down our points that is required to mention in the report, then we go for the reporting step. Now, when it comes to the reporting step, definitely there is always one point that I would love to mention here, is that mention the things that is actually you have observed in the case. That is actually you have observed in the case. Because if you are mentioning something like that, which is not in the question that you have, which is not in the, you would say that not a part of that examination, if you mention such thing in your report, definitely the court, definitely the judges, when you are going for the cross-examination, they are going to question on that part only. Okay, so that is something which is very crucial stage, I would say, whenever we are going for the reporting procedure, because I believe you all are a law student. Okay, so being a law students, you know that you will be receiving the cases of signature, you'll be receiving the cases of fingerprint whenever you are dealing with your cases which talks about the will, which talks about the agreements. So yes, definitely these kind of cases every lawyer come across. Okay, so yes, at that moment, whenever you are studying the report and you find something very unusual, that is different from the scientific protocol, scientific procedure, definitely that will create a question mark in your mind. Okay, so yes, in that situation, you can ask, you can cross-examine the forensic expert who has prepared the report. You can cross-examine the person who has prepared this report in the court, and you can definitely raise the points on such topics. Okay, so this is something which is a very crucial stage for a forensic expert, that whatever we have received, it's our primary role to go with the technical procedure, to go with the scientific procedure, and to mention what actually we have examined at this stage. Okay, so when we are completed with this task, we have come to the end of the I would say the examination procedure. After the completing the examination, we are done with the reporting, and then we just hand over the report to the particular client. Then we hand over the report to the particular, if it is from court, we'll hand over the report to the court itself. If it is from client, we'll hand over the report to the client. Now, in the meantime, when we are dealing all these steps, okay, when we are dealing with from case receiving to case closing, when we come to case closure stage, at that moment we have to mention, we have to document, I would say, everything in detail, that what we have received, how many samples were there, what examination protocol we have applied here, what scientific method we have used, what instrument we have used, and then who is the signing authority who has signed the report. And then with this also we are supposed to talk and mention, document all these things, that who is the person who is collecting the report from the office, or we are dispatching the report from the office. So this is what we do in our environment. Okay, so if I talk about specifically about SIFS India, I would like to tell you that every division, like whenever there is a case receiving section is there, the case is received there. From there, it is transferred to the particular divisions, and in the particular division, there are senior authorities, head of the departments are there. They assign the cases to the scientific officers of the department, and they are the person who are actually examining the cases and doing the things. They are just re-verifying it from the head of the department, and then they are completing the report and handing over to the head of the department, who is further connecting with the client to submit the report. And then, and that is the stage we are coming at the case closure stage. Okay, so when we are closing the case, definitely all things need to be documented. Already Kritika ma'am has discussed that what are the examination procedure we have, what is the imaging, and what is the scientific approach that we take about there. But yes, definitely in this short duration of time, it will be very hard to talk about every individual divisions. But yes, definitely the divisions that we have here, the case receiving, case examination, and case closure procedure is the similar way. Yes, definitely the variation is at the stage of the examination and the evidences that we receive. Now, whenever we are receiving evidence, whenever we are talking about the samples that we are receiving, definitely being a forensic expert, it is our primary role to maintain the chain of custody. So I hope you are well aware that what is chain of custody, because chain of custody basically incorporates that who is handling with the case and who is the part of the case, who has taken up the parcel and handed over to whom. All these things need to be documented, because you guys are lawyer, you'll be a future lawyer, I would say. Definitely, if there is a case, I would say, for example, there is a case of fingerprint that you're dealing with, it will not be resolved in a day. I believe the court protocols, the court procedure are so, I would say, so delayed, I would say, that it takes time to come to the judgment part. Okay, so it might take 1 year, it might take 2 years, it might take 3 years, it might take 10 years also sometime, depends upon the case, severity and other things. So in that situation, if a forensic expert is called after 10 years for a particular case, he will definitely not remember what the things are there, what the things are there to that he has done before 10 years, and what examination procedure he has opted for. That's why it is always required to document the things. And in the field of the forensic science, this is one of the very important aspects. Okay, so yes, definitely when you are dealing with these cases in the field of forensic science, if you're talking about the laboratory structure, I would say we have to maintain this. Okay, definitely you can say that to do not lose the chain of custody. That is what the investigation part I would say here. With this, we have the education department and training department also, where we have different online courses are there, certificate courses are there, but let's not go more into that. But yes, definitely we have a training department, and the training department is whole soul. We are in a motive to deliver the practical exposure of the field, that whenever you being in, if you're a forensic student, if you are a law student, what are the things that need to be required for you to learn at your college stage, at your learning stage, that we are trying to deliver to the students, so they learn the actual perspective, actual procedures of the things here, which is very important. Because yes, definitely we learn from the college, we learn from the I would say that book that we are learning, but yes, definitely things are quite different from the practical aspects and from the learning aspects. So yes, this is certain things that we are having here in SIFS India. And yes, definitely I would be very happy that if you have anything to ask here, you can definitely ask. These are the equipments that we have in our laboratory, and they are series microscope, comparison microscope, 3D printer, UV cabinet, centrifuge machine, oven, incubator, portable scanner, fingerprint kit, cyber tools. Now, yes, there are people, we are working on this instruments, we are working on these things for different examination procedure. We are working on this aspects for, you can say that cases that we are receiving, there are different cyber tools which are used for the you can say that examination things, which cyber division is actually taking care, and they are just doing for the examination. So definitely these are the things, these are the aspects that our actual laboratory is having. I would be more than happy if you would have come here to Delhi and to have a look at it, because I would be happy to show you all these things, that how it works. Yes, definitely I would love to say that we have learned a lot in the book. We have learned a lot in the book about the stereosome microscope. We have learned about more about the comparison microscope, but working on it on the practical ground is completely different. I would say that definitely I have also been in my college, after my college, when I was a part of this you can say that working environment, that has completely changed my perspective with the practical aspects. Many things what you learn in the books, when you implement it, it's completely different. So definitely if you get an opportunity to come down, if you get an opportunity to learn, and if you have zeal to learn about the practical aspects of these things, you are more than welcome. I'll be happy to welcome you all, and definitely would like to take up to you and to give you the practical exposures of these things. So yes, these are the practical things that we actually work here in SIFS India, I would say. And definitely there's one thing that I would love to mention here, is that all the organizations, all the laboratories have their own working protocols, working structure. So definitely whenever you go for a new laboratory, whenever you can say that you are visiting something, don't ever come with a concept that okay, this is the thing that we have only that should be followed. No, everything has its own structure that need to be followed. But yes, definitely the basic things cannot be changed. The basic things cannot be you can say that altered in any way. So yes, this is all for the things that we have. So further, I would say that if you have anything to ask, to understand with the working protocols, then you are more than welcome. This is our lab environment. I just thought that, okay, we are not in a physical mode right now. So I just thought to share few pictures with you so that you can understand that when we are working here, we are working in our lab, what are the things that we are dealing with, what are the things, how we are handling the things. So we maintain everything in a very, you can say, standard way. Right, Kritika?
Yes, absolutely. And very nicely you had covered the things. And yeah, we all are in the virtual mode, and it's very difficult to show you the exact laboratory exposure, but of course giving you a glimpse in that way. We have certain pictures in front of this. These are the very selected pictures. Of course, we had a lot of it, but the students, different university professionals, whenever they came to our lab, they want to learn. They actually see the theory or something which we had already discussed in our book. We learned from book. We learned from different social media pages and everything. When it comes to your hand-on experience, we have to put our hand on that evidence, because that is what forensic science required a practical exposure of it. So yes, these are the different way when our students, when they came from different college, they want some, what are their expectations? They expect to give a proper working of it. Being a law professional, you have a immense knowledge of a law sections and everything, but when it comes that you able to understand the why, like normally a fingerprint or a document, you know how to examine that, then you are becoming the strongest one in that court, because you know both scientific exposure as well as the law connection. And trust me, this is one of the fabulous connection one could have, because with this connection, no one can cross question you, because cross examination is something which is a very important part in your perspective. And of course, if you know the scientific background, no one will stop you. You can able to justify your report in a better and a best manner, of course. So we perform different practicals, we perform different mock crime scenes, different activities. Of course, in our lab, there is a CSI division. In that division, our expert go to lab, go to different field work, the fire arson cases, the factory burn cases. These all cases, they go, they collect the evidence, they came to lab, they do the procedure. And of course, whenever we are handling with different cases, we have a lot of challenges when it comes to because you are expert. Of course, the word expert has a lot of responsibilities, but word expert is also when we had certain limitations, we had certain challenges whenever we resolve any case. I think we have Aarti Varshne with us. Aarti, I hope you are in the session. Can I just get yeah. Hi. So Aarti,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it would be great if you just tell us about the certain challenges we face when it comes to criminal investigation.
Okay, so it's a very interesting topic if you are looking at the challenges. So we are working in the environment where we are dealing with various professionals. So advocates, police officials, and forensic experts, they have to work hand in hand. And if they are not working hand in hand, justice will not be delivered. So it's a very important topic that we have to discuss. Now, when challenges are seen, so since we are forensic professionals, we know what we are doing, right? The scientific basics, the applications, the knowledge that we are applying, we know what actually we are doing. But how to discuss or how to convey the same scientific knowledge that we are having to another individual possess a very important challenge. And that challenge has to be dealt with very importantly and very like with a very presence of mind that we talk about. So being an advocate, and we live in like company of advocates, so when we are dealing with that challenges, so one of it is very important. Then coming to certain aspects of the human nature that we have to deal with. So when we are like, if you are giving a report about something, like for example a question document that we are dealing about, so if a signature report with that we are giving, so people are obviously like looking into that the report has to be in their favor. So when those challenges of human nature that come into our mind, that we have to abide by our ethics, and that's a very important role that we have to do. And we have to take consideration of the people who are in the legal scenarios as well, because they are also facing certain pressurized by the authorities, and certain factors are also being involved over here. So this factor has also been mentioned and has to dealt with. And when obviously you are working into the field, you know the crux of it, you know the basics, you know the intricacies what you are dealing with. So I think when in working, then you will be able to understand what all the challenges and what all the major things that we have to understand, and we have to work together for living into a better society.
Right. Very strong connection you have given, because yes, the challenges are our go-to procedures now. We face it and I think a very quick way just to connect you guys with us. We still remember the case. There's a very frequent case of a fingerprint where a very partial and a smudged image we had, and the person want us to give a proper report that whether it belongs to which finger even. And sometimes the expectations are more than the examination and the restriction of the examination we had. So yeah, we face that challenges and we face that problem, because being expert is not only that you know everything. Being expert is you know everything under the boundaries of a scientific consideration. That is very important. It's not that of course I'm an expert, I can tell you anything. Not possible. But yes, I am an expert and I know my boundaries and I can give you my report with this respect. And now it's code whatever you want to do in that code. It's of course the professions which involve the law enforcement. So yes, thank you Aarti for the very strong connection when it comes to the challenges and limitation in the identification and like in the identification of evidence. Yes, Safina.
Kritika, with this we are open for the discussion part, and we would love to have the questions from students, that if they have any particular thing that they would like to ask, we are open for that.
Hello, ma'am. This is me, Kalyani. Will you please elaborate the concept of forensic odontology?
Sure. See, forensic odontology is a field which deals with the study of teeth. So I'll tell you one thing very important. There are certain cases where the cases of mass disaster and the cases of natural calamity, even in the cases of sexual assault, we receive certain bite marks on the skin of a body and on a private part of a woman whenever there a heinous rape or something happened. These plays a very significant role because the odontologists are the experts in their field. They are helpful in determining and individualizing the person involved in that crime scene, like whether even the victim or the like we study the body of crime where we discuss a crime scene connection with the victim and the culprit with consideration of a proper evidence. That strong evidence is teeth. With the help of a teeth estimation, one can go age estimation, one can tell the sex estimation because of the mandible portion or the maxillary portion, whatever we receive, or a single tooth we receive. We have a certain proper examination of this. It's a very long field. I just want to sum up in a very small words. And the bite mark is one of a very strong evidence when it comes to forensics odontology, because if you find a bite marks on a person's like suppose a hand or a body or anywhere, a proper photography is done, a proper casting is done, and there's a proper procedure which will help you to determine like whether it belongs to which person. And this is how forensics odontology deals with. So when it comes to the study of teeth only, we have to go for forensics odontology.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Another question, please. I have a question in the chat. There's a question you may. Okay, sorry, that's a question. That's not a question. That's a statement by sir. Okay, can I have more questions, please? Anything?
Yes.
Yes, Sakshi.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you please elaborate the cyber forensic concept? Means you said that hacking and data recovery or forgery, it happens in cyber forensic. So how you deal with those things? How you investigate those things?
Okay. So cyber forensic is a very vast field when you look at it, and it involves much of what we actually think of. So when dealing with cyber forensic, very important aspect that we have to come across is what kind of evidence we have. Is it mobile evidence, like we deal in mobile forensics, or it's exactly the cyber forensic that we are dealing with certain kinds of hacking. So there are various kind of hackers as well. You must be knowing about white hat and black hat. So these hackers come into play when we are dealing with certain investigations, which are including the like, for example, the certain network has been hacked for a association or a company. Then we have to investigate that is the source traceable or not. When it comes to mobile forensics, that is certain like it works both ways. The people require data for their own personal use as well, and they require data for the legal use as well, right? So when it comes to that aspect, they give us the evidence, and we abide by the legal aspects, that is it abiding to the IT Act and to the Evidence Act. Then according to that we work, and then we just recover the data, whichever and the most of the data that we can, and then we give to the client, that who or the person who has asked her to do so. So that involves multiple aspects of cyber, that involves mobile forensics, that involves the hacking, that involves ethical hacking as well, incident response. So all of these things are just together combining, and then that we are calling as a cyber forensic.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. And we would be very it would be really great if you just let us know what you are actually thinking of forensics and what is your perspective of forensics. So if anyone can just brief it in some words, it would be really great. So
Actually,
we
that
just
would
want
be
to
a
know.
great idea,
Excuse
actually.
me, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, Rohit, okay, you are.
नहीं नहीं बोल तो
Ma'am, I always have a notion that as a forensic expert, you can easily alter any tamper or alter any evidence. Means so. Actually, do you have any such a kind of mechanism to held some to held responsible to forensic expert, like CCTV cameras or any something like that in your lab?
I just want to say that no crime is perfect.
Yeah.
And this misconception is that being a forensic expert, you can do everything, is also not very correct, because we are also limited to boundaries. We are also limited to certain things, and it will be very difficult for us to go ahead with any of the aspects when we are asking about the tampering and any alterations. So yes, that definitely this misconception should be cleared from your mind, that no, it cannot be possible.
Right. And even with the words from Ashish, I got to again come up with a quote, Aarti, which we used to say: if you want to be an expert, think like a criminal, because then only you will be go inside the certain internal things of a criminal. So we always think, okay, if a criminal go with that way, then only we can go to that way for a scientific interpretations as well. So
And
Ashish,
also,
yeah.
if you're tampering with one evidence, then the other forensic person will also
Right.
understand that you have tampered with the evidence.
Yes.
Is it or not?
Yes,
Rohit,
ma'am.
I guess you was also having a question.
So that's a chain that we are riding ourselves into.
Yes, ma'am. मेरा question था कि like this is like an indirect evidence. It is not a direct evidence. It is an indirect evidence. So how much accurate it can be? मतलब it's like a scientific thing. There are machineries. It is upgrading day by day. We can't say that.
Which evidence you are focusing right now? Like which is for you as an indirect evidence?
Like we can say that cyber.
No, you never say cyber as an indirect evidence. Aarti, can we connect on that part? Because see, there is nothing like indirect or direct. There are no words. Evidence which give you a proper scientific justification, that's a direct way towards interpretation.
How much it can be accurate?
Accurate, of course. It depends. It depends
We
the
can be
particular
sure that
evidence.
100% it is right only. So we can't doubt on that evidence.
See, yeah, that is what I am talking about when it comes to the challenges. But Aarti, you want to say something? Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just I was occupied. So you just asked about the indirect evidence, that I think you are referring to the, I think, circumstantial evidence. So when you are talking about that, is it like directly leading to a person or not, right?
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Yes.
It's a like I've seen someone, like it's a criminal thing. If I've seen someone, I can say that he has or she has killed, but it's like an evidence that you're taking a fingerprint, you're in a lab, and then you're giving an assumption. You can say that it's an assumption only, most probably we can say that he might have killed. So in court decide end of the day that evidence is matters or not. So how much in court it is accurate, like court sees this evidence, the forensic side in a, like there are two evidence. It is one thing, one is forensics and there is another evidence. So court कौन सा evidence को ज़्यादा weightage देता है?
Now, yes, I got your point. Now, see, when we are talking about, like, for example, you are saying that I have let's just take an example, that I have a fingerprint as an evidence and I have a document as an evidence, right? I have these two evidence with me, and they are saying that the person who is exactly we are calling as a perpetrator is not the person that I'm linking to, right? I have a very different evidence. Now, when we are talking about that, here comes the role of the legal professionals, right? So here the legal professionals, and if our report are not like satisfactory to the person who is getting the things done, then obviously he will get some other experts into play, right? So it's by the court and it's with the forensic experts that is that particular evidence giving you the correct results or not. And that's why here the law is there, right? They have given you the power to challenge their judgment as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so that's the role, that it's not very sure, like evidence can be planted as well, right? So that's why police officials are there, legal professionals are there. It's a combination of three people in together. It's not only that we are working, we are just giving you an opinion, we are not giving you any result or conclusion. That's why a forensic expert will always give you opinion, that in my opinion the report or this with scientific explanation that both of these fingerprints are right or are similar. I will not say identical.
Here
They
I
are
would
similar.
like to add up something.
Yes, very
Definitely
sure.
to your statement that we are the person who are actually just giving the opinions. We are no one to give the judgment. The judgment is in court hand, and the court is the whole soul body who is coming to a statement and judgment part, and he is the person who is actually taking all these decisions. So being in forensic experts, our only role is to give the opinion that okay, this is the thing that we have observed in the our examination. We are not the person who are coming to a judgment. Okay, so yes, we have quite shortage of time, and definitely in this very short period of time, elaborating and covering all the aspects of the forensic science, it will be very difficult. Okay, so with this, I would like to tell all of you that yes, you have an opportunity to come and join us to learn about the aspects of the forensic science. Either you can come as an intern, either you can come as a trainee.
Hello, madam.
And I believe, Pratik sir, that we can have the students to SIFS India Delhi also, so that
Hello,
they
madam.
get an opportunity to have these things over learning procedure. I guess there's someone who want to say something. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Kumar is speaking.
Yes.
Yes, I want to ask one question.
Yes.
Nowadays, some political issue or legal issue in forensic science?
Okay, I'm so sorry. Can you just repeat your question? Which issues?
Any nowadays many issues are reflected in forensic science as well as legal procedure. Any political issue in forensic science?
I think it's there in every profession.
Right.
I think profession where it's not.
See, we have sometimes what happened, if you are like, I am not very much open to that way, but I can just want to mention one thing. When it comes to political aspect, of course there are certain cases which has a very strong political background and everything, and when it comes to deal with that cases, we are very restricted towards certain confidentiality.
I think here our ethics are coming into play.
Yeah, our ethics are very
situation also. We should follow our ethics. I would say.
Yeah.
That is what which is very much important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashok. Thank you so much, sir.
Anybody, if
any more questions do we have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, drawbacks of the cyber forensic or the drawbacks of the forensic, मतलब कि जो साइबर फोरेंसिक है उसके जो ड्रॉबैक्स है वो क्या है?
Drawback of forensic. Yes, Aarti, please.
You have every new crime every day.
Yes. And every new case comes with the new challenges.
Yes, give you new challenges, and we are still in the process that we are developing certain technologies in cyber, and obviously the human mind is capable of more, we all know.
I want to connect only one point in this, if may I. Yeah, so I think when it comes to drawbacks, the major drawback being in a forensic science as well as the cyber maybe, I think I'll be more concerned when it comes to improper handling of evidence. The major drawback we had, the contamination, the someone changed something in between when it comes to lab, in between certain happened. And of course, the major problem in India only, respectively, I talk about the improper handling by the police official of a collection of evidence when it comes go to crime scene. So
Yes.
if a proper expert or a field expert is not involved, sometimes we receive an evidence from a crime scene, and the contamination is there, the proper handling is not there. Because of that, we face a lot of issue when it comes to examination. So I think for me, it's a very, very strong drawback, because we have to deal with it every day. That is
And
why.
as Kumbar sir said, then the political influence.
That's about, yeah, of course. That's not a drawback. That's a drawback for entire country.
I believe this discussion is a
Yeah.
never-ending discussion.
Yeah.
So with this, I would say that we are at the end, and I would love to thank Pratik sir and Shankarrao, Chavan Law College of Pune, to invite SIFS India persons at this platform, and we are happy to be here, and we are happy to be a part of this, because interacting with students is always our only concern, because there are people who have many misconceptions about forensic science, that it is something which is magic, which can do anything. But frankly speaking, there is no magic here. It is all based on the scientific things. So I'm very much thankful to Pratik sir and Shankarrao Chavan Law College for inviting us to this platform. Thank you so much, Pratik sir. Now with this, I would say that we are done from our sides, Pratik sir.
Yes. So at the end, I would like to thank you as well, Afreen ma'am, Aarti ma'am, Kritika ma'am, that you have spared your valuable time and informed our students regarding how do you work and what are the challenges you face in day-to-day work. And that is really enriching experience for all of us. Rather, I would say that we would love to visit your lab very soon, and we will surely have some internship programs with you. We will share our students with you for the life experience. How do you work and what kind of experience you face each and every day.
Sure,
So,
sir, definitely. We can have any
also I'm very
online, offline mode. We are
today-
comfortable in both the way.
Sure. And I'm also very happy that we are having 3 women today. That is a big women force. And we have not only conducted the workshop, but we have also celebrated the World Women's Day, which is just 8 March. So I'm very happy. And I'm very delighted to have you here today for this particular session. And I'm looking forward for more activities with you.
Definitely.
Again,
we are more than happy to be a part of this one.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you for choosing us, for enriching your knowledge. This is very important. And yes, thank you for giving the opportunity, being because I think all the law professionals and forensic scientists, they are best friends. So we will work accordingly.
We work together for the betterment of the society, I would say.
Thank you, everyone.
So with this, we are come to the end of workshop, and I would now declare that the workshop has ended. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.